The scenario is this. You got a firearm in your house and you want to keep it loaded and ready in case you need to use it to defend yourself or someone that you care about. But you don't want it just like laying around loaded, unsheathed in your house, or even in a holster just laying on the countertop, right? Think you got small children in the house or something like that, and it would be irresponsible to just leave that loaded weapon, laying around where they could potentially get at it, right? So there's a product category out there that is like the Lockbox. And the concept is that this like sits on your nightstand or something like that, and your loaded gun goes in there. It's not meant to replace a safe that is designed to defeat like nefarious access for people who are like trying to steal your stuff or get at them for other illicit purposes type thing. The Lockbox is to keep incidental access out of it from non-nefarious intent. Things like your kids, curious teenager, or something like that. To keep them honest, so to speak. You know what I mean? And I have actually come out against this type of product in the past because almost all the offerings that are out there have electronic locks. And I've got real problems with electronic locks when it comes to like gotta get it now type thing. Well, this is from StopBox, and this is an all manual box, and I've got some ad reads coming up from them, and I thought the easiest way to really disseminate information on this was just to do a video on it, and then during the ad reads I can just push it towards the video that we did as far as an expose on these things. I talked to these people at SHOT Show, seemed like pretty cool folks, and I think it's actually a really awesome product for what it's intended to do. You can find a discount code over on the affiliates page if you guys want to take advantage of that, if this looks like something that you want to pick up. This is what they're calling their rustic flag, and it is my favorite of all the ones that they produce. So we're going to use this one for today's video. I'll have some shots of the other ones that are in my possession for video making purposes. And this thing has some interesting safety features built into it that are specifically designed with the consideration of kids in mind and trying to keep them out of it. So the first one is the combination tabs are up here, these 4 tabs right here that correspond with your 4 fingers, and also the thumb actuator here. This is the unlock tab. To unlock this box, you have to simultaneously enter the combination and push the thumb lock to be able to do it. And if you have any smaller than adult size hands, there's no way that you're going to be able to do this. The other thing that is interesting about this is that it has an internal mechanism that requires some downward pressure in order for all of these things that need to slide past each other to slide past each other. So if I were just to walk up and push the buttons without having enough strength to push down on it, you can see there's a little bit of play there, then this thing wouldn't work. So to unlock it, we enter the combination, we push this, and then the guy will open up. So inside here we have a foam area that is designed for retention of your handguns, and then there's another smaller storage compartment in here. These are currently set. The index finger and the ring finger are currently set to be the combination. Now there are some additional tabs in here that can be no press, half press, and full press, and you basically take the screws out and change out whatever one you want it to be for that finger position. That internal mechanism that we mentioned that allows it to open with downward pressure is located right here, right next to this reinforcement. And those reinforcements interact with these studs here that are made out of steel. I think a decent question would be, well, what are the size limitations? How big of a handgun can I get in this thing? Well, I just so happen to have the largest handgun that I'm aware of. And this is a 50 Action Express Desert Eagle, and it seems to fit the footprint just fine. Let's see if we can get this thing to lock back up. Yep, it locks up just fine. Let's see if we can get it back open. Now, because the Desert Eagle is so wide, it's going to provide extra pressure on the sides, so we're going to have to put a little extra force on it to actually get the mechanism to depress. I have to enter the correct combination. And that seems to work just fine. Now there are some other considerations with this. Over here, there is a hole all the way through the actuator that allows you to put a lock on it if you wanted to use a key lock or a combination lock on top of that for added security. And over here, there is a spot for a cable if you wanted to be able to cable this to a car strut or something like that. Just something to take a little bit of extra time to get through. Again, this is not meant to really replace a safe, and if you really wanted through this thing, then you just go get a sledgehammer, just like every other thin, fast, relatively cost-effective security measure out there. This is to keep the honest people honest, not necessarily the people who are trying to smash and grab. But cabling it to something really heavy might actually stop the smash and grab, particularly if you have other security measures like a security system in your house. So that's what I've got for you guys today. Thanks for tuning in. And if you make today's video popular, then we'll bring back Will It Drag?